Good morning, guys, once again. Okay, so here is our lesson for today on nonfiction text structure. So, yesterday we went ahead and I kind of explained a little bit on what problem and solution text structure was. Okay, nonfiction, remember, just means stories that includes facts, real events, nothing is made up. Text structure is the way that that text or story is built. So our goals for today is going to be to find and identify a problem and solution in a nonfiction text. In this case, we're going to be using that Stephanie Kwolek inventor story from the Reading Writing Workshop book, which you can go ahead and find on your Connected. Okay. So remember, there are 5 different types of text structure: problem and solution, which is our focus today; cause and effect; sequence of events; description; and compare and contrast. So let's review. What is a structure? A structure is a building, okay? Something that is constructed or built. Remember, when you build or construct something, it's made out of different kinds of pieces, right? Different kinds of materials. A building is a structure and it's made out of different pieces and different materials. It's a pattern of something. So when you build, let's say, a house, you use concrete, metal, and plywood, concrete, metal, and plywood, and you kind of get the structure of a building. Okay, so basically, that's exactly what text structure is. It just means that it's in a story. So the structure of a story is the pieces that complete that text. So when we are saying that text structure is problem and solution, the pieces that build that text or that story are problems and solutions to those problems. And then you'll notice that it's a pattern. You're going to see that in that text, there's going to be a bunch of problems, then there's going to be a bunch of solutions to those problems. So it's a pattern. You see it. Oh, look, this is a problem. Oh, look, this is a problem. Oh, look, here's the solution to the problem. Here's the other solution. So it's the structure or the way a text is built, and it's the pattern that you see in that text. So just reviewing problem and solution. Authors use text structure to organize information in a nonfiction text. Problem and solution is one kind of text structure. Remember, we said there's 5, but we're going to be focusing on problem and solution. It presents a problem. So in a text, there's going to be a problem presented or problems, and then there's going to be ways to solve that problem. Now, if you have problem and solution text structure, there's going to be a problem or problems, but there must be a solution to the problem or problems. If there is no solution, then your text structure is not problem and solution, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look. Problem and solution. The authors of a text present a problem and then they follow up with a way to solve the problem. Let's use Stephanie Kwolek inventor. A couple of the problems that we noticed that Stephanie Kwolek faced in the text. Remember, Stephanie Kwolek, it's a biography, so it's nonfiction. Okay, that means that this is somebody who really existed. This is somebody who really did find that material to build the Kevlar, which is that protective material. So this is a biography. It's a nonfiction text. And Stephanie Kwolek faced a couple of issues, right? So one of the problems that she went ahead and faced was that she couldn't afford to go to medical school. She wanted to be a doctor, but she just simply didn't have the money. How did she go ahead and solve her problem? She worked at a textile lab to make money and pay for medical school. That was her solution, right? Just like us, when we need money for something, we either save up our allowance or we ask our parents, right? In this case, and if Miss Fonseca needs money, she goes to work, right? That's how I get my money. We work. Now, another problem that Stephanie Kwolek faced was that she had created a liquid or a solution, and this solution is not the same type of solution that we're talking about here, right? When the problem is solved, this is the kind of solution where different things are mixed together to create like a liquid. Okay, so she went ahead and she created a solution that was not the same as the other solutions that she was creating. So a coworker, when she went ahead and discovered this solution, she wanted it to be spun, right, in a machine to separate the different parts of the solution and create a fiber. But she had a problem. Her coworker didn't want to do it for her. He even said, no, this is nothing like what I've seen before. And this solution, it's probably going to mess up the machine. So he didn't want to do it. Her solution, she was able to somehow convince her coworker to spin the solution, and she discovered a strong new fiber, which she later called Kevlar. So that was her solution. She basically, kind of gave him reasons why. She explained the importance of spinning this solution to see if there's anything new that could have been discovered, and there was, right? It was a very strong fiber, which was called Kevlar. So now we have another problem, and maybe Stephanie didn't face this problem, but it was a problem that was happening. So our problem was that firefighters, police, people from the armed forces like the Army and the Navy and the Marines, and politicians, right? Politicians are people who run for public office like the president, the mayor, the governor, okay, the Senate. So politicians did not wear clothing that was protective enough, so they weren't protected. So nowadays, right, in these times, modern times, Kevlar is used by everyone, like firefighters, like police, like people from the armed forces, politicians, to make protective clothing and equipment, and it has saved many lives. So that was the solution to that problem, right? The problem that these very important people were not being protected enough because of their clothing. So with the invention of Kevlar, which we owe to Stephanie Kolek, now the solution to that problem was that we were able to create this protective clothing and equipment. And by equipment, like helmets, maybe like bulletproof vests if you're a police officer, okay? And it helps save many lives. So when you guys are reading a text, look for something that might be a problem, something that might be a challenge, or something that's going to get in the way of being able to do something. Stephanie Kolik not being able to afford medical school is something that could have kept her from going to medical school, right? But if she went ahead and got a job, she solves that problem because now she's able to make money to pay for medical school. And again, why would it be a problem that firefighters, police officers, and people from the armed forces don't have clothing that's going to protect them? That could be a problem because they could get hurt more easily, right? But you solve it. You fix that problem by creating and using new materials that were invented to make this clothing, these equipments that's gonna go ahead and help them. Okay. So you're going to look for these words to help you figure out what text structure the author used for problem and solution. Some signal words for problem and solution. There's many more, but problem, issue, dilemma, okay, and then solution, fix, in order to. So in order to fix this problem, one answer would be like, well, you have a question. One answer to your question is, so if I'm giving you an answer, I'm solving a problem that you have, which is maybe not understanding something. To resolve this, it has the word solve, which basically means the same thing as solution. As a result, so since Stephanie Kolek couldn't afford to go to medical school, as a result, she had to go ahead and get a job to be able to pay for it. Okay? And then consequently, a consequence doesn't necessarily have to be something negative. A consequence is just something that happens after some kind of something. Okay? So think of it that way. Consequence doesn't necessarily mean something negative. It just means kind of like the end result of something. And then a few things to remember. So ask yourself, what is the problem in this story? What challenge does the main character face? In Stephanie Kolek, what was the challenge that she faced at the beginning? She couldn't afford to go to medical school. What was another challenge she faced? Her coworker didn't want to help her out. How can the problem be fixed or solved? Her problem of not affording medical school, she got a job. Her problem of her coworker not helping her, she convinced him to go ahead and help her out with that solution. What is the solution to Stephanie Kolek's problem? She went to medical school. She convinced her coworker to help her. Okay, and then could the problem be solved in a different way? Okay, and then you have some signal words that suggest the structure of a text is problem and solution, and those are words like problem, issue, dilemma, situation, difficulty, trouble, try, attempt, solved, solution, and fixed. Okay, so I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. If you have any questions on problem and solution, just go ahead and let me know. All right, have a great one.